Hey everybody, welcome to the Wisdom Circle Manifesto Women of Legacy. I have an epic, like literally an epic guest. Elle Steele is with me. She is a woman of such a versatility. Like she just keeps blowing my mind, all the different aspects of life that she encompasses and she holds and she steps into. I'm just like, what another thing on top of what you just told me? Psh. So yes, if you haven't guessed, this is part of our Women of Diversity mini series in this segment leading up to our amazing event we're having at the end of February. But also, this woman is just so damn freaking epic and amazing. Like, oh my gosh, you guys need to like really tap into this amazing stuff that she has to lay down. Like, she is a woman of so much multitude of different aspects that come together in such a melody. I love it. Ellie Steels, I'm so glad that our paths crossed and I'm so excited to have you on. It's so nice to have you part of the summit and have you part of the roundtable. She's going to be featured on both aspects, so you get to hear Ellie's story in the roundtable as she sits with the women on table number 3. I believe, yes, table number 3. And then also, she has a 1 hour segment, which is inside of the summit as well, where she gets to go deeper into her talks of choices. So, guys, you are in for a treat. This woman keeps unfolding, 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 and I love it. I love it. All right, lovelies. So, if you guys are catching us on the podcast, tune into our video interviews on either Instagram, YouTube, or the Women of Diversity on Facebook business page. And if you're catching our lovely faces, go over to our podcast. It's a different experience, a different transmission. It downloads, goes into your body different, and you just get so much more in each of these two aspects. So, Ellie, before I ramble on longer, yes, we're at 2 minutes. I took too long. Go ahead and introduce your lovely self.
Thanks for having me. Yes, my name's Elle. I am a 5-time Australian representative Paralympian. I won a gold medal when I was 14. And at the end of my swimming career, I connected more deeply into the spiritual space. And that was the beginning of me becoming a spiritual healer and an intuitive. And now I work in that space as a business mentor and motivational speaker and a guide. And I've been doing that for about 12 years. So, yeah, it's a beautiful space to be. I'm really excited to be part of this summit and to be chatting with another person with a really similar name to me.
Very similar. I know. I was like, look at that. It's only like one like vowel off, and it's almost you can mix this up easily. But I love it. I love your name, by the way. Ellie is amazing. Such a great name.
I love Ella.
Oh, so much love in this podcast. Oh my gosh, I love it. It's flowing so well. And this is the type of love you feel inside our summit and our roundtable, guys, girls, women who are coming from the mentorship and coaching world. So as Ellie spoke, she has been 12 years. I was going to say 12 hours, obviously much more longer than 12 hours. 12 years in coaching and mentorship as an intuitive coach and a leader and a business coach. This obviously question can go into so many different directions. You're able to take it wherever you want. You can take it from the beginning to the middle to the end, wherever you want to. But what got you into intuitive coaching and what made you step into this? So many different directions you can take this.
So when I finished my swimming career, I had this pain in my shoulder, and all the Western medicine doctors told me that it was in my head. And so I went to a spiritual healer because I wanted to see whether there was kind of a mind-body connection or there was something else going on there. And while I was lying on the table, the woman told me, or she said to me, "Do you know you're psychic?" And I said, "Yes, but I'm scared to tell everyone that that's what I am and the skills that I have." And so I went after that session down the path of becoming intuitive and learning to read cards and learning to tap into intuition and healing and all that kind of stuff. And the coaching part came maybe like 3 or 4 years later, where I was still uncertain of my own power. And so I went to do my NLP and learnt about articulating my message and what it would be like to run a business, and I learnt to kind of upgrade my speaking skills, and that just kind of steamrolled from there. But my first kind of foray in coaching was more about life coaching. It wasn't about business, but I've got a background in business and marketing and events. And so later on I thought, well, why would I not put that into it, and my spirituality and coaching, it kind of all molded together because it just was the way that it had to be.
Amazing. Yeah, definitely. I can definitely relate to that in that level, a deep relation to that. So I think that's really powerful and really cool. So thank you for sharing that. So I wanted to kind of dig deeper into some other aspects of yourself. I know we only have 10 minutes before we go into the questions and all that other jazz. So let's try to really hit all these personal points that you have to offer, and it's so powerful. So you talked about your swimming career and you being part of the oh my God, I'm saying it wrong. Paralympics, and then Paralympics, yeah, and essentially did you win a gold medal, or you were actually in, no, you didn't, but you were in the competition, which is astonishing. I know somebody else that's in it, and it takes so much dedication and so much work to be in this. So for those of you who are not familiar and don't know about what I'm bragging and talking about, do you want to kind of go in detail? I'm sure people do know, but I wanted to sink in their mind really what it is, so they really click and gets in their brain like, oh, that's what they're talking about.
Yeah. So I have lived experience disability. I've got a condition called arthrogryposis multiplex congenita, which basically means that I don't have, my joints don't fit properly in together, and I have lots of different lengths and strengths with my ligaments and my tendons in my knees, my hips, and my ankles. I've had 35 surgeries, and I use a wheelchair predominantly to get around. But I began swimming when I was 11 years old for therapy, and then made my first national team when I was just 11 or 12 years old, and was at that event, and that kind of set me off to realizing that if I believed in myself and I took action towards this dream of going to the Paralympics, I could achieve it. And so I made my first Australian team when I was 14, where I won a gold medal in the 100 freestyle, and then my first when I was 17. And I tried to make another Paralympics, which I'll talk a little bit about during the summit, but missed out on that team, and that kind of was a very important, it was a catalyst for lots of change in life. Yeah, disability is something that is huge in what I do and how I show up in the space, and something I'm really passionate about people acknowledging within this industry as well.
Yeah, definitely. No, I definitely feel I can feel the power in that, and I can actually feel like the energetics behind that story and that pivot in your life and that point where that turned. And I can't wait for you to share that in the actual summit and that actual roundtable, because I can really sense and feel it inside of me that this was like a grand time for you, really, a grand change. So it's, thank you for, like, I don't know it yet, but I can already say thank you for taking it there. And thank you for bringing it to the roundtable when you do. It's appreciated, and I value that. Thank you. So what I wanted to, like, you touched upon so many important points that you talked about, having the awareness inside the coaching industry as well, to pay attention to the diversity in disability, and having all of these different layers, and having the awareness to these parts of coaching that maybe not be represented. And then also you spoke to like having your own experience really flavor into your coaching and into your mentorship. This is part of the questions that I do ask, so I don't want to go too deep into it, but I do want to play into the concept of like, how does this exchange, or how does this outlook create a different way that you interact with the industry, maybe versus than what you see already?
I think that, I mean, for one thing is that I don't see a lot of people that look like me in the industry. I, for the most part of my career, have felt quite alone in the sense that I don't see a lot of people openly getting a lot of publicity with disabilities as coaches or healers. For the beginning of my healing career, I had this belief that I couldn't work with people because they wouldn't want to come to someone who didn't look like their body was healed, and all this kind of inner talk that you're having with time, or not really anymore. I don't know, not really at all, actually, at all anymore. But so much of the way that I look at the world in terms of diversity and disability and the skills I've learned from being a person with a disability can be easily kind of laid over overcoming adversity in people's lives. And I had so much time to grasp mindset and to learn about pain points and to overcome hard stuff. I believe I'm the perfect person to help people work through those moments, because I know how to do that just because of who I am as a person.
Yeah, definitely. So this touches into like a very heated point that I really like. You can always say you want to pass, you don't want to ask this question, but I really do want to ask it. You touched upon it either in direct conversation with us, or you said it in a live or some of your content somewhere, saying that, no, I think it was both. That you spoke about you being able to learn to walk twice, and you were able to successfully do that for a bit. And what happened? What was like that even is a success, and but also there's so much to that as well. Like it's such a mixed boat. Like, that's really is like a whole topic in addition to the topic we're having here. So how does that, what does that experience play into and have that in addition to your diversity among disability?
What it taught me was that I am like a phoenix, and I will have many, many energetic deaths and many moments of identity death in my life, but I will stand up and walk again. And I've learned to walk 5 times in the last 10 years.
5?
And
Oh my gosh.
yeah, so that's from ankle surgery to having both my knees replaced, and lots of different kind of issues around, particularly my ankle. I had some complications with that surgery, and each time something like that happens, you don't really understand the depth of where you need to go in order to get yourself back up again. And I just chose that was where I was allowing myself to go, and I was going to make it a joyful experience and not one where I felt that I was hopeless, or that I just take every challenge as a joy, because what a beautiful gift the universe is giving me. And I am so privileged and I have so much to offer. So why would I not use everything that I have to heal the collective in some kind of way, whether it's clients or through this kind of work?
Definitely. Oh my gosh, your inner strength and inner power and your resilience is unfathomable. Like, just unfathomable. It's so strong. It's so profound. From being in the Paralympics, training, doing that, going at it. And you even said, like, in between when you had the shoulder or the knee injury, you were even with the boys like rugby team, and like all of this physical endurance, and then for you to put yourself through the training and what it takes to 5 times in 10 years to learn how to walk and go through that process. In addition, it's unbreakable. Like, you are truly a phoenix. It's very beautiful. It is very beautiful. It is. All right. I don't even know how we would go on to the questions after having this juicy conversation. Like, this should just continue. I shouldn't have to, we should just continue with this conversation. Like, I don't even feel like the questions are needed at this point. Like, I feel like the energy and the emotions and the fire, it's all present and ready there. And you can already tap into the vibes that Ellie's going to bring and what she represents in this roundtable, and the vibes of the roundtable itself and the energy of the summit. So I don't know why I have to go through the questions, but because to be fair to everybody else, I will. But my thought is we're good. All right. So Ellie, for anybody that's new to this podcast, this episode or this segment, this is a great episode you landed on. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening and watching us. This is a golden episode, and I'm so happy to have you here. For those of you who are new, thank you so much for listening and continuing to be part of this unfolding for the summit at the end of the month. So for those of you that don't know, every woman, I asked all the women in the roundtable to provide me 3 to 5 questions from a list of God knows how many questions I sent to you guys to pick from, so I can ask you guys in the interview, just to give the vibration, the sense, and the energetics of the roundtable. Ellie's graciously sent me 5. I will ask her 3 out of those 5 questions. in this space, I'm not supposed to react verbally. I would try my body and my energy not to react. Hopefully I don't. But it's really, this is the time for you to really tap into Elle even more. But she profoundly has given essence and energy into the space that you know what she's all about. But we're going to go there anyways, just to give that energy in. All right. Really did touch on all this. All right. So question number 1. How would you say the industry supports diversity among women?
I would say that the industry supports diversity around women when they're comfortable with the women. And if there are women that the industry or that the figureheads of the industry, people that have been around for a long time, or high-level coaches and coaches that people look up to, there becomes a bit of a slippery sliding scope where we tend to see more of the same, and so there's a lack of diversity as it moves up. And what I am wanting to see is a change in that slope, that slippery slope. We want diversity from the new coaches coming up to the high level coaches, and it to be not just one type of diversity. It's important that we have many people that look different, but we also, I mean, more often than not, disability is left off the list of diversity, and I am here to change that.
All right, question number 2. What is your relationship to your diversity? And does it come into play with your coaching?
Say that again, it just cut out a little bit.
Did it really? Okay, then I'm going to switch the question then. I'm going to take it from, okay, fine, no, I'll stick with it. What is your relationship to diversity? And does it come into play with your coaching?
Oh, yes. Well, my relationship with diversity is that it's like I live and breathe diversity at every moment in every day. And so, of course, yeah, it plays in my perception and my vision and my values and my beliefs. And more often than not, the people that work with me will connect to those values and beliefs, whether it's through disability or not. I don't just focus on working with people with disabilities. I work with people of all different types of humans. But my diversity and my disability is a inherent part of who I am and the work that I do in the world, because how could it not be? Because it's my body is my diversity.
Perfect. All right, this is a tough one because there's 2 questions I like a lot, but I think I'm going to ask this one. Without giving too much away, what can your audience expect, or what can the audience expect from you within the roundtable in the event or the summit?
I am here to tell you and show you my story, and with the desire and the hope that there's something that within my life or my story or the way that I look at the world assists you to see the beauty in you. And if you can embody and feel and know that beauty within you more, then you are able to then demonstrate that and help guide and support your clients through that as well. I am incredibly, speechlessly, immensely proud of being a woman with a disability in this industry, and I am passionate about being a leader within the space, and not a leader in the space of someone saying how it has to be, but a leader in the space where I lead people towards finding themselves more deeply and loving themselves more deeply, because I believe that that is a true healer for all of us.
Beautiful. All right, amazing. Alrighty. All right, so we're on to the fun things. All right, guys. So As you know, in addition to asking the questions and getting all the things, yes, I've given these women a lot of homework. I know. But it's amazing and it's fun when it actually is, like, you guys are all enjoying it. I know it's really juicy. It makes it playful. Yeah, it's playful. It's juicy. It's a good time. It's a good time. So, as you guys know, in addition, I've asked all the women to send in their theme song for their life and their theme song for themselves at this moment to add to the playlist on Spotify. If you guys haven't listened to the Spotify playlist, what are you doing? Go check it out. You can go find it on the link. There's a link bio around here. Or if you're on the Women of Diversity page itself, it's on the link. It's in the sign up area. On Instagram, it's there. It's everywhere. Go listen to it. Jam onto our playlist. And when you hear this one specific song, you're going to know it's Elle's song. So, Elle, do you want to introduce your song to everybody and let them know why you chose it? Or do you want me to do the honors?
I want you to.
For introducing it. All right. So when I asked Ellie what her favorite theme song was, she gave me Gordy. So that's the artist. Extraordinary Life. It's a recent song. Or at least Spotify's telling me it's recent. So do you want to go into the details about how the
Well,
song?
I guess I love Gordy, and I feel like they got me through the last 2 and a bit years, and within all of my programs, I playlist. Like, music is a huge part of of how I heal and creating a beautiful community connection, all that kind of stuff. And this particular song was on a playlist from The Forest, which is a community that me and my beautiful friends created during lockdown in Melbourne. I'm in Melbourne, Victoria, and we had the longest lockdown in the world. And we created The Forest from my kitchen table in the first lockdown, and that was on the playlist, that song. And I know all the words, and it gives me, it's a joy to me, and the name of it is such a beautiful reminder that we can create an extraordinary life for ourselves.
Oh, I love it. No, I'm excited now. Now I want to know what the forest is more in detail. I want you to tell me all about it, and I just want to know all the juicy information. Just like, tell me more. All right. So, and if you guys do want to know more, go ahead and DM and message Elle. She'll tell you all the juice about that too. I'm probably going to do it myself as well after this. Okay. So hashtag. So when I asked her about the hashtags. She told me rising always. So do you want to go into detail about why? Yeah.
Well, because I believe that I'm a phoenix, and to be a phoenix, you need to rise again. And I believe that I'm always rising, because no matter what is happening in my life, I'm always just, I kind of shake it off like a bird, their feathers, and just kind of get on with it. And that's what I like to, I like to encourage my clients to do as well.
Amazing. Perfect. So for those of you who don't know, the hashtags are part of an amazing contest that we're doing. So essentially all the women on the roundtable have elected an amazing prize for you to win with the hashtags. So the way it works essentially is leading up to the event of the actual summit roundtable, and also in the summit as well, you are encouraged to share as much as much as possible each of the women's contents and availabilities of their stories, anything that's happening on their social media, anything that's related to the actual summit itself for that specific woman. The one woman that shares the most using the hashtag for Ellie. So if you're sharing Ellie's content and you share the most of it, you also have to have the hashtag rising always, as well as tagging Ellie in Instagram. It's I am Ellie Seals, I believe.
Yeah, I am still, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. And then also tagging the diversity.roundtable on it. And then whichever woman is the one that does it the most, they get the opportunity to win an amazing gift. So Ellie actually has, for the prize for the most, okay, so she's giving away a really free, oh wow. Okay, so she's giving away a really free thing, but you're only gonna know the free gift once you're in the summit. So I can't say what that is. So I'm gonna hold my tongue. But for the prize for the most shares, so the person who shares the most and you tag, but it doesn't count if you you have to tag at diversity roundtable for us to count it and be able to qualify. So you have to remember that you're tagging Elle plus diversity.roundtable and doing the hashtag rising always. So just remember that, guys. So otherwise it won't count. So make sure the woman that tags the most and does this the most, she's able to win. Oh, this is amazing. Okay, so you're able to win a voucher towards. So I'll let Ellie go into it. So it's a voucher that you get to put towards any of your online courses, and you will let them know the amount that they get for it, which is an amazing amount.
Yeah, so for it's a voucher for $111 for any of my online courses. So I have, things like, we're not running around in the forest at the moment, but, for the forest or Recalibrate or Heart and Soul or Alchemy of Abundance, which starts tomorrow night. So lots of different programs that I hold online, and a voucher will be, so you can knock $100, $111 off the price, or you can get a free spot for one of them.
Ooh, that sounds exciting. Oh my God, guys. So that's amazing that they actually get free spots, and then they can have that voucher so you can use whenever they want. So I'm really excited. I almost want to share your free gifts because I think it's amazing, but I can't. I think that's what's happening. I'm just like, oh my God, I want to share the free gift as well, but I can't because that's only for people who are in the actual summit. They can see what the free gifts are because that's for you attending, being part of it. So I think that you can agree with me that Ellie is a superwoman. She has amazing different layers to herself. She's an intuitive coach. She has her extremely long years experiencing and coaching itself. She has her own personal story. Plus, she has an amazing career in Paralympics and in sports and an athlete. And I think combining all of those together, you don't really see them. You don't see that combination a lot, specifically like looking at like the endurance that you really went through. And I think all women have a lot of endurance. And I'm not saying that all women don't, and that's really powerful. So you can talk on so many things, but I think the way that where I'm leading to is the endurance piece. And like, what if a woman was like, what advice you would give a woman who's facing hardships and places where she would really need the support in that, like going through that endurance? What was something that you can give to anybody in that circumstances that was really powerful for you? At the time.
One thing I've really learned over my life, and particularly in the last kind of 15 years since my body has deteriorated and I am no longer an elite athlete, has been that in those moments where you have nothing to be grateful for, there is also things that you can find yourself being grateful for, and to learn about the nuance of gratefulness and to give yourself the opportunity, even when you're really, really feeling that it's uncomfortable and hard and you hate it and you're angry and you're frustrated, that there is still so much abundance available and around you, and so many beautiful moments to be grateful for. And if you can lock yourself out of that frustration into gratitude, you absolutely set yourself free. And that helps with endurance in any space, I believe.
Definitely. I love it. I love it. So guys, if we haven't enticed you enough and we haven't really like got you guys onto the summit and the roundtable, I don't know what else will take you guys to do that, because this is quite profound. I guess like I obviously want to keep you on for longer, but we have to go because we're hitting almost the 30-minute mark. If there was anything that you could let people know about this summit and roundtable, like, I know I'm kind of adding on the next question here, but like, if you could like encourage anybody to like tap into it more and come into the roundtable and the summit, what would be those words? Like, it's quite obvious. It's about women. It's about womanhood. It's about endurance. It's about all the things. It's about coaching. It's about our individual diversity and coming together as a whole as a woman. But like, you have such a passion in you as well. So I feel like your input of like what drives you towards the summit would be so profound as well, because you truly are a woman that is very passionate about this cause in addition to like this whole thing. So I would love to hear your driving forces for the person to come.
Yeah, I really believe that if you are wanting to grow as a coach, as a person, as a woman, as a human that's in this collective that is going through tumultuous stuff at the moment, that it is your great gift that you can give yourself, to come to a summit like this and to learn from people that you may not necessarily have sat with before or listened to before, because the more that we can engage with people that don't look like us or that don't feel like us or see like us, the more we can really become whole, beautiful, holistic humans. And I believe this summit will absolutely do that for everyone, for me included. There are people there that I'm going to learn so much from as well.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Ellie. I don't think I have to say anything else. I'm going to let this be, and I'm going to let you guys sit with this magic, listen to this on repeat, come back and visit. This is one very golden nugget interview here. And go ahead, click on link. Ellie's link for the summit is going to be up above, below, wherever around. Click on that and enroll through that link. And you will be part of the community more, and you get to learn. And also, this is also for coaches and mentors, if I haven't made that clear enough, obviously. And with that, what that means is that you actually get some learning abilities and some teachings about being a coach and other aspects of it. So it's for old season, new coaches, doesn't matter. We also dropped some like really cool things for embodiment practices, like sales, confidence, like all these other things part of the summit. There's some workshops and stuff happening inside of it. So there's a bit for all the aspects of the industry as well. So thank you guys so much. And I will see you guys at the next one. And I'll see you guys in the summit. Thank you, Ellie, for being here. Mwah. Bye, guys.